Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. A pair of mid-major powers square off tonight as New Mexico State entertains. Both teams 2-0. Both teams had lopsided wins in their first two games. St. Mary's beat North Dakota State and UTEP, and we are underway here at the Pan Am Center. This is JoJo Zamora, the Utah transfer. Misses, put back no good.
In my mind, he's the most experienced of the New Mexico State big men, and I think if they're going to have a good game tonight, Chua will have to be effective.
This year he made it. He was 59% a season team last year, 63%. And the Scales offense averaging almost 90 points per game. Watch out for number 3 in navy blue. This is Jordan Ford, who's averaging 29 per game. He's checked by Harris defensively. Elijah Thomas in the key, and his turnaround to get beat.
Well, I think that's right. What makes St. Mary's so difficult to guard, though, is they're really versatile. They can shoot threes or post up inside, as we just saw Elijah Thomas do.
Ball screen from Chua, picks and pops a 3 from Eli, rims out no good. Ford shooting a very high percentage so far this year, 65% for the field. He's a really good one. Only averaged 11 a game last year, but finished really strong to the season. And he's off to a phenomenal start this year. He's guarding Harris on that 3, and AJ misses. Chua sticks. St. Mary's led the country in field goal percentage last year, 52%. They're already shooting 56% this year. Step back 3, clean look for Ford. Rebound in the hands of JoJo Zamora. The Aggies with numbers. Here's Henry. And to wisely pull it out to the arc.
He had a great game against UTEP a few days ago, didn't he, Adam? Clayton Henry.
He scored 14 and half one against UTEP. He made 4 threes. Now he throws areas. Here's Ford again. Acrobatic layup is no good.
Well, there's Chua around the basket. He's so crafty and smart around the hoop.
You hate to compare Jordan Ford to somebody like Steph. Minutes and 25 seconds. The Aggies off to a good start this year, offensively averaging 84.5 per game. They have 4 players averaging in double figures, including Zamora. Long 2 for Joe.
As I said before the game, occasionally it seems like he's off balance, but he seems to have a great knack even when he's off balance to score.
Here's Tanner Krebs. Good high hedge there for Chua. Malik Fitz can shoot it. He'll dump it off in the corner for Thomas. Loose rebound there for A.J. Harris. Zamora from the wing. Popping out is Bobbitt, who shot it very well on Friday against UTEP. Harris around the high hedge, using his right offhand. It's only averaging 6.5 points per game so far this year, Coach, which is low for him, but that's because the Aggies have so much balance, especially off the bench.
Yeah, it wouldn't concern me. I think he's the best of the guards defensively, and he's the most experienced guard.
Under 10 to shoot for Fitz, the South Florida transfer. Has it poked by Bobbitt. 3 to shoot for Fitz. And Bobbitt's there for the strong side rebound. Good D by C.J. Bobbitt. Blocking for NM State and St. Mary's from Lou Henson Court here tonight.
Well, and that's right. It'll be typical numbers if he wins 29 or 30 games again. He seems to do it year after year after year. It's really remarkable. And he's hung around. He's not out interviewing and chasing every job. He's happy in Moraga, and who can blame him?
The Aggies brought in Terrell Brown, Ivan Aure-Coetchea, and all games so far in his first year with the Aggies. Lead grows to 3 for Chris Jantz's team. Now it's Buchanan guarding the star guard Ford, who's averaging 29 per game. Here's Ford. That's a tough shot. Good D by. Here's Ivan Aure-Coetchea. Can't finish.
He's tough around the basket. That was a surprise. I think he was surprised at how open he was. The ball is in the hands of Ford a ton in this Scales offense.
Low post here is Jock Perry with his left hand.
A real rarity, and he may have his work cut out for him with a 7'1" Jock Perry.
St. Mary's is big. They're without Aaron Menzies tonight, who is a 7'3" transfer from Seattle, who the Aggies know very well from WAC play last year. Still very big without Menzies. That shot was blocked from Spain and Perry from Australia.
In fact, St. Mary's has, I'm counting 10 foreign players on the St. Mary's team, and they've made their mark with Australians. Of course, there's Patty Mills, I think, but who had been part of LeBron's team at Cleveland.
Jabari Rice in for the first time today, has the ball in his hands. Right back to Aore Koachea. This time he scored.
You know, he knows how to battle for ground, and he understands that it's not just a horizontal battle.
Well, Terrell Brown thought he had all ball in this one. But Tommy Nunez, a very good official, is right there.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's Tommy Nunez. We'll give him.
Kevin Brill, Mike Cyphers, and Tommy Nunez are three officials for this really good mid-major battle. Ford on the exchange with 10 to shoot. Now it's Malik Fitz, the transfer from South Florida. 4 to shoot for Fitz, and he finished. Terrell Brown down the lane, strong move, and he's.
So he might know some of these St. Mary's guys. Pretty good body control by Terrell Brown.
Going to take a seat after this first free throw from Brown. Kuzi only has 7 points for the year in 2 games, and he can't finish. Aore Koachea wipes it off the board. Weave handoff to JoJo Zamora. The Aggies love to run the pick and roll in the motion. Brown down the key again. Aore Koachea with the offensive board. And
chattering away in Spanish, probably back to friends back home. It's such a delight to have him here on campus. And boy, does he work hard.
Big screen from Toss to get Ford free. Offensive.
He was literally in over his head here. As we see Aore Koachea, just relentless worker under the basket. I mean, he's a tough combination. He's really smart and really aggressive. He just knows how to play.
Right spot early this year for head coach Chris Jans. The Aggies trying to build on their 15-10 advantage. Shooting 50% early. Jabari Rice hands it off to JoJo Zamora. Right back to Rice, the redshirt freshman. Low post entry to the redshirt senior Chua. Shallow with it, Marys. Here's Elijah Thomas. Short corner for Fitz. Tough matchup for Jabari Rice. Mini hook.
Why he's going to be a great player in a few years. If he gets stronger, he's going to be a great player. He just got sort of bounced around there. He's a little bit too light.
Zamora with the teardrop. That's short. Rice grabs the offensive rebound. He's averaging 42 points per game this year. Aore Koachea playing well. The Aggies lead by 3.
And then one team going from another conference, and that doesn't seems to be completely happy there, and seems to be nuts up from before the end of the night.
Yeah, Randy Bennett thought certainly last year they should have been in. They were ranked as high as number 11 in the country last year, did not get in.
Well, they win 30 games?
Yeah, they won 30 games, which you would think would be enough. They had some nice wins, and they beat Gonzaga last year in conference play. That's a huge win.
Beat the Aggies.
Beat the Aggies by 18.
Yeah.
Right now the Aggies are keeping Jordan Ford in check. He's attempted 4 shots. He's only made 1. AJ Harris guarding Ford in the near wing on the bottom side of your screen, but they left Kuzi.
Chris Jans' coach team where they just give up an uncontested layup. That'll get discussed in the film room tomorrow, I imagine.
CJ Bobbitt hands it off for AJ Harris. Pick and pop for Chua. Around the arc to Zamora. He's bumped by Fitz.
Oh, and it's something that Chris Jans does very well is this as we see the uncontested lap. But he's both running a patterned offense, yet it's sort of slashing and freelancing at the same time, and it makes the Aggies very different.
They miss. Big matchup here for Harris. Ford with the basketball, averaging 29 per game. One of the best scorers so far this year around the country. Here's Kuzi. Ball screen from Hunter. Kuzi spins. Slings it outside for Fitz, who can shoot it from the arc. 5 to shoot for the Gales. This is Dan Fotu. 2 to shoot for Fitz. 80.
St. Mary's team there.
Shoots it well for a big man. 6'8", 230 pounds. Really pulls in the rebound. Here's Ford in transition. Harris all over him. Ford trying to get free. Hands it off to Kuzi. Met by Chua on the baseline. Trying to bounce it outside for Hunter. Stolen by Terrell Brown. Zamora looking down low for Chua. Wasn't there though. Here's Harris. Ball screen from Chua. AJ thought about a 3. Under 10 to shoot for the Aggies. Brown to Harris. Harris floater for the elbow.
These are sort of the running one-handers that Zamora and Jordan Ford and AJ Harris put up. Those were sort of a no-no a couple decades ago, back in the old days, Adam.
That snapped a 3-minute field goal drought for the Aggies. Fitz off the mark. Here comes Harris. Aggies ahead by 1. Bobbitt down the lane. CJ Bobbitt had a good hunter. Here's Ford. Bullet pass out for Kuzi. Hunter, 6'10", 230, squaring up Archua. Spinning Archua. Good verticality by
Hunter.
He's one of a couple guys with improved production this year for St. Mary's who didn't do much last year during their 30-win season. Hunter only averaged 3 a game last year. Harris, straightaway triple. Short. Zamora, the offensive rebound. Fresh 30 for the Aggies. Zamora, creative as usual. Aggie bench applauding the defense there by Terrell Brown, not giving Kuzi an angle. Ford wants a ball screen from Hunter. Harris all over him. AJ playing great defense on Ford.
Great body control and a little bit unorthodox and can still make it go down, which is the way Zamora plays in a little bit different. Zamora, of course, not the point guard that Jordan Ford is.
Ford guarding Harris on this end. 8 to shoot for AJ. Stolen by Ford. Ford has a breakaway. Brown chasing him from behind. Scores around 8-4 in the previous minutes. St. Mary's ahead by a handful in Las Cruces.
Tom Bennett, who just won a ton of games at Mesa Junior College in Arizona, just really respected, really knew the game. People, Division I coaches came from all over the country to learn from Tom Bennett, who's a junior college coach.
It's going to be 1-1 because it was on the ground. So no continuation for Yvonne.
See, everything's a battle for ground with Yvonne. It's all turf. It's all a battle for turf. But to get back to Tom Bennett, Randy Breno had chances to go to plenty of chances to go to other places, which is a very old concept.
How about this? When Randy Bennett took over in 2001, he inherited a 2-2017. So this wasn't a powerhouse when he took over.
It's pretty good. They had Tom Masheri, who played a long time in the NBA with the Warriors, and is also probably the best basketball playing poet that ever lived.
Okay.
Tom Masheri. You have to take my word on that.
I'll take your word
Adam,
for it, Coach.
As an English teacher, Tom Masheri, yeah, the best poet basketball player in history.
Here's Joe Zamora back out for Harris. Only 2 to shoot. He has to heave. And he missed it short. Good box out there for freshman Matthias Toss. Ford and 1. Foul.
He catches the ball at this close to, he's already at the three-point line when he catches the ball on the run. And it did look like Jordan Ford initiated the contact a little bit, but
you have to wonder too, how come Jordan Ford was one of their go-to scorers? And
yeah,
he
really
carried over to this year.
That's right. He really came on at the end of the season.
26-18, a scoring drought of almost 4 minutes for the Aggies right now. Harris on the bench with 2. Buchanan's in for him. Here is Buchanan. 4 to shoot for Sean Buchanan. Pull-up jumper.
An easy shot that's going to go up because both teams play terrific defense. And that was no easy shot for Sean Buchanan, is my point.
Buchanan guarding Ford. Ford angles in the lane. Missed it short. Wanted a foul. No foul called. Aore Coachea feeds it off for Bobbitt as he falls out of bounds. Evans the trailer. Back to Buchanan. Zamora for 3. Great hustle there.
High for it, but he had his hand on the line when he touched the ball. Let's watch here. That was right in front of me here. I miss a lot of calls, Adam, but I think I got there. I see his hands on the line and he's got the ball. So that was the right call by Mike Cyphers, the veteran official.
Chris Jans wasn't half on the opposite side of the floor. Four and change left. Matthias Toss hands it off for Kuzi. Kuzi for Thomas. That's a tough shot. Loose, picked up so far tonight. Here's Buchanan. Head of the key for Keon Jones. Guarded by Fotu. The Aggies using a lot of shot clock on every possession. Left hand hook for our Fotu. No look pass by Kuzi. Point blank miss by Matthias Toss. Here's Henry. Not Bob Cousy tonight, it's Tommy Kuzi for St. Mary's. Gales up a half dozen.
It's just, there's no easy shots, there's no gimmies, and
now the good news is the Aggie defense has been as good as usual. St. Mary's averaging almost 90 points per game. They only have 26. 3 minutes left. Deep 3 for Ford. He has that range.
Oh, that was well off. That was easily an NBA three-pointer.
Ford has 14 on 5 of 10 shooting. Biggest lead for St. Mary's. AJ Harris, the Aggie point guard, on the bench with 2 personals. Henry to the baseline, dumps it off for Ivana Orekoechea.
He's already a fan favorite. You know, he seems to make eye contact with the fans when he does something good, like right there, or right there.
Ivan alters the shot of Ford. And the Aggies trying to turn defense into offense. Let's see if they go inside of the big fella. They do. Working on the freshman Toss. Orekoechea going to work. Fakes left. Stripped away by Ford. Took too long. Ford, no numbers. Trailer is Kuzi, who can shoot. And Kuzi.
He gave Tommy Kuzi there, the Phoenix native. Well, Mesa, Arizona, to be precise.
Ball screen, Ivan. Down the lane is Jones. Maneuvers, can't finish. St. Mary's 3 of 7 from 3. The Aggies have missed all 6 3-point attempts. Watch out for Ford right here. If he gets an opening, he'll shoot it. Out of the key, fits. Isolated set with Henry. Tipped out and grabbed by Keon Jones. About a 16-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Clayton Henry has yet to attempt a field goal. He scored 14 on Friday. Here's Henry. First field goal attempt and it rims out.
Well, nice look by Sean Buchanan, but to no avail.
Jordan Ford looks back to his head coach, Randy Bennett. They'll try to get the final shot here. Biggest lead for St. Mary's right here. Ford has 14. Brown has time across midcourt with 2 seconds. Feeds it to Jones. He doesn't know it. St. Mary's 32, NM State 23. Halftime comes your way next. 23 score in half number 1. There just wasn't much given to the Aggies for the St. Mary's defense. Every point was earned for NM State. And for St. Mary's, they shot 48% from the field in the first half. We saw a lot of this guy right here, Jordan Ford.
Yes, he's just really versatile, can score a lot of different ways.
You're see a deep 2 right there for JoJo Zamora. A.J. Harris did not play much because of foul trouble. He picked up 2, so A.J. only played 10 minutes in the first half, and we really liked what we saw from Ivana Orekoechea.
Boy, what a worker he is. He's smart and tough and just a relentless worker.
Some good moments, too, off the bench for Tommy Kuzi, who only had 7 points the entire year. He scored 5 in the first half. There's Ford from about 26 feet away. He was 5 of 12 from the field. 2 more there for Ivana Orekoechea. He scored 8 points and also grabbed 4 rebounds. And like we mentioned, Kuzi played a role off the bench. 5 points for Kuzi, made the 3 right there. 2 of 3 shooting in 13 bench minutes. They played half of the first half because of his 2 fouls. And he has a really tough assignment as we start half 2. Harris guarding Ford here on the near side of your screen. Slipping was Fitz, working on C.J. Bobbitt with his left hand.
The entire bench jumped up with their left hand. Maybe Malik Fitz doesn't use his left hand. Well, there he is, stole it with his left hand.
Fitz working on Bobbitt, glides in.
But yeah, not a great start for the Aggies in the second half.
Let's see if the Aggies can find some sort of rhythm here in half 2 offensively. A very low scoring first half for them, just 23. They've used a lot of shot clock tonight. Harris, left hand scoop rims. Needs to make sure he doesn't foul here. He already has 2 personals. Ford gets by him, kick out for Elijah Thomas. And
well, that's the thing with this St. Mary's group. They've played some of the best teams in the country, and they're not. A lot of teams come into the Pan Am Center and are intimidated, but that is not the case tonight.
Harris saves it right to Ford. Why not? He's everywhere. Ford runs the break, 3-on-2. He'll take it himself. Straight season. Gales won by 18 last year. They lead by 16, 2 minutes into half 2.
One of the dangers now is that the Aggies will try and get it all back in 1 or 2 possessions, and it's going to be a long haul if they're going to do it. And so shots like that can change the tide for the Aggies.
NM State has not made a 3 yet tonight. They're 0 of 8 from bonus distance. Here's a 3 for Fitz. He can't connect. Offensive rebound, though, for Hunter. And a foul is called to the Aggies, and it looks like it's our JoJo Zamora. Yeah, it's our JoJo, his first, team's first as well. St. Mary's is big, even without Aaron Menzies, who's still out with an injury. He's a 7'3" transfer from Seattle. Ford again. Ask you anyway, has he been as good as advertised?
Well, I saw Tennessee Owens, the Aggies walk-on campus today, and he told me that he's big time. That he thought that he was as good a guard as they were going to face this year. Tennessee Owens, the walk-on, whose father was the Lakers assistant coach for a couple years. And I think he is as good as advertised. Or maybe.
NM State now 0 of 9 from 3. Fitz posting up on Rice. Goes to work on Jabari. Offensive rebound again by Jordan Hunter. Ford with the head fake. Lost the handle, gets it back, and he's going to shoot a 3 from the corner. Offensive putback, no good for.
Just couldn't get the easy one to go down. And the Aggies are going to need some breaks if they're going to make a run.
Mid-post extended Chua. working hard.
For them to go inside to Chua and Chua to go to work a little bit, I think they're going to have a hard time controlling him. But it's going to be a matter of Chua stepping up, and now Chua's coming out of the game. And not that the big Spaniard.
Cham is in for the first time today. Transfer from Marshalltown Community College. Here's Cham on the wing. Hand off to Jabari Rice. Rolling is Aure Coachea. They had him. Rice will take it anyway, and he scoops it as we approach the 16-minute mark. Aggies going with Cham, Aure Coachea, Harris, Brown, and Rice out of the timeout. Aure Coachea has been the best Aggie offensively today. Skips it back out for Harris. There's a good look for Terrell Brown. And the Aggies can't buy a bucket from the arc. Brown pokes it away from Ford in transition. Well done.
Great hustle by Terrell Brown.
All the way to the rim. And one for Terrell Brown.
Well, and the crowd really came to life there. Maybe this is the break the Aggies need to get the tide turned here. Look at this hustle by Terrell Brown. And then takes it the entire length of the floor the other way. It's quite an effort by Terrell Brown.
Aggies trying to pick up the pressure. Harris meets Ford, who has 18 on 7 of 15 shooting. Krebs has been quiet tonight. He's been in foul trouble. He averages 10.5 per game. Krebs has it here on the wing. The Australian, 6'6" guard, skips it out for Fotu. That's a charge. Checked out. It was actually Jabari Rice who drew the charge. Brown was guarding Krebs.
And it was a risky move by Jabari because his man was in the corner.
Harris back to Brown. Rolling is Aure Coachea. Rice for three. Mohamed Cham the offensive rebound.
And suddenly the Aggies are in control of the boards and the tempo. And
blocking foul on Kuzi. First on Kuzi, fifth on St. Mary's. No foul shots though for Brown. They call this one on the ground. Harris triggering in. Kuzi whistled for another. He's trying to guard Terrell Brown. Krebs is back on the bench for the Gales with 3 personals. Hunter has 4. He's on the bench as well. Aure Coachea.
I'm going to have to shout to be heard here.
Here's Ford for 3. Aggies trying to trim the deficit to single digits. Rice had Aure Coachea, didn't use him. Back out for Brown. 6 minutes in, half 2, plenty of time left. Brown to Harris for 3.
Well, here comes Ford.
Kuzi away from the ball screen, back out for toss. The freshman fires from 3.
Exposed against North Dakota State is the Aggies couldn't quite get out on the three-point shooting postman. That's going to be an issue that might be an issue this year.
That was the first attempted 3 collegiately for Toss off the Harris miss. Toss handles the exchange from Ford. Good low positioning on a. Here's Jabari Rice and 1. Coach, I think there was a question going into the year how much Jabari Rice would play as a redshirt freshman, and it seems like he's forcing Chris Jans to play him more and more.
Well, what a talent he is. He looks like he's about 12 years old. Boy, when he physically matures, he's going to be.
Zamora's been on the Aggie bench for a while. Chris Jans going with his combination right here. Buchanan, Cham, Brown, Rice, and Chua. Kuzi, strip by Chua. It's loose. Cham picks it up.
The concept. I think he knows he's got to jumpstart the Aggies here, and if he's got to do it himself a little bit, not out of selfishness, but just trying to light a spark under the Aggies.
And you get the feeling, too, if the Aggies can find
from here on in against St. Mary's.
There's a good look for Chua. Misses point blank. Sticks it up, and he sticks it in. Here's Fitz. Hands it off to Kuzi. Toss swings it for Fotu. Low post extended for Fitz. He tells everybody to clear out. He's
be giving up a three to a great shooter.
Ford fakes the pass, finger roll it.
Boy, it's a pretty good Steph Curry imitation, I have to admit.
Yeah, you hate to compare him to Steph Curry because Steph Curry is one of the best players in the world, but you see there's a lot of similarities in the two guys' game. Terrell Brown down the lane, blocked away by pushing is Ford. Need to pick him up in transition. Toss for three again. This one's short.
Well, the Aggie big men are going to have to work harder to get on those shooters. That was Sean Buchanan guarding both guys out there.
Lead for St. Mary's has been as many as 18. Right now it's only 13. The Aggies trying to get even closer. Cham for three. Bingo! Ford splits defenders down the lane. High arcing floater, no good.
The Aggies got a huge break there, not to give up a basket.
Buchanan bounces trays. Mohammed Cham drills one, and it's a 10-point ball game at Lou Henson Courts. In his 18th year as the head coach of the Gales and the Aggie year. Those are big. Buchanan, Cham, Chua, and Brown. Buchanan guarding Ford. Here's Thomas. Guarded by Zamora. 10 to shoot for Elijah Thomas. Had to travel, no call though. Ford to toss. The freshman has been busy in this half. Make this a two-possession game. Mohammed Cham did not play in half one, playing some big minutes in half two. Zamora for Buchanan. Fakes the handoff to Brown. 6 to shoot for Buchanan. Corner three, Cham. Rims out.
We'll take a peek here. Well, I don't know if it was enough contact to be, but he had a better angle than I did. And he's got more experience and he's smarter.
Yeah, that's a big call right there, too, because Krebs has three.
Yeah.
So that would have been out of Krebs. It would have been his fourth. Nobody really in foul trouble for the Aggies. Hunter has 4. He's in right now for St. Mary's. 3 for Fit.
Almost lost the ball, and the Aggies gambled there, and St. Mary's made him pay.
Lead back to double figures for the Gales. The 4th best winning percentage in the country the previous 3 years for St. Mary. 2 years ago, 29 wins 3 years ago. Ford. Fouled by
and Mohammed
Cham. It
Cham.
seems like every time the Aggies go on a little bit of a run, St. Mary's has an answer.
Yes, that is precisely the problem. But all joking aside, yes, they're tough, smart, well-coached team, and it's.
Now it is 13 again. Jabari Rice down low for Chua. Good angle there for. This is really bunched up scoring again tonight for the Aggies. 10 for Aore Coachea, 8 for Harris, 7 for Chua, 5 each for Brown and Rice. Under 8 left in half two. Chua on the exchange for Rice. Brown gets a ball screen from Chua.
Like that.
Second one for Terrell Brown. 22, 14 in the first half, 8 in this half. He's attempted 18 shots, 8 of 18. Here's Fitz. Fitz has 14 for the Gales. Running Ford off screens. Harris trying to make sure he doesn't catch it. Ford has it in his hands. Ball screen from Toss. Pull-up jumper Ford. Over the back on the freshman, Matias Toss. Over the back of Aore Coachea.
And Aure just really, like always, working hard. I think he got banged in the finger or the chin. I don't know, but he's
tough.
He's a tough guy, yeah. But I don't know if I've ever seen a big man work for position the way this guy works.
It's now in the double bonus, so Aore Coachea is going to shoot 2. Good look at Struffy. Thomas fires a 3. And 1 from 3 for Thomas.
Well, and a freshman mistake by Jabari. Just bumped into a guy a long way from the three-point line. Quite tough break for Jabari. And now instead St. Mary's can put it back up to 12 or 13.
Fitz with 14 points, 5 rebounds, right at his season average of 14. Ford back to Fitz. Gales using some clock here on this possession. Inside outside for Fitz. Spins on Bobbitt, lost it. And this
the ball back. Yeah, that was the right call. I think the Estonian hit it last.
Brown overthrew Aure. Aggies only 7 on the Gales. Thomas looking for some help. And Jabari.
He's a little bit unorthodox.
They're going to say this is a shooting foul, though. So Thomas will shoot. They give him continuation per game. Who do you run your offense through right here, Coach, if you're the Aggies?
Well, I think they do better when they go inside, and it'll come from a pick and roll if it happens. But it seems like Aure Coachea and Eli Chua have been effective down low in scoring when the Aggies can get them the ball, like here.
There's Ivana Aure Coachea. C.J. Bobbitt put back no good. And then
Elijah when he was out of bounds. Let's take a look. We'll take a look here. Well, we can't quite. That's hard to tell. That may be the first time the Aggie Visions crew has missed. Let's see it. I think it hit his foot.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
I think hard to tell though from our angle over here. Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot there from Terrell. Did you?
No, it's three times. Three times Krebs hits.
Okay, right there.
Yeah, but three times Krebs, but it's always the sort of the retaliation.
Those are those two. Krebs hasn't played much because of foul issues. Harris misses the pull-up.
Ability to battle on the boards has sort of kept them in. They're even on the boards pretty much with St. Mary's, and that's kept them reasonably close.
All right, Aggie fans, you know what to do.
Running the point for St. Mary's. Ford's playing off the ball here. 6-0 run for the Gales over the last 2 minutes. Ten to shoot. Kuzi to toss for Thomas. And he's off the mark. Chop can't catch it. Thomas streaks in. Blocked away by Mohamed Shah.
Well, that's traveling.
Fitz lost the handle. We'll get it. They're going to call a foul on St. Mary's. So they will not call a jump ball. They're going to call a foul on St. Mary's here. It's going to be on Fitz. As you can see on the end of this play, he was kind of hovered over Mohamed Cham, so a foul was called, no jump ball.
Yeah, you can't dive on a
break
fellow's
for the
back.
Aggies. Really, they led by as many as 18 early on in this half. The Aggies have pulled it to 7. They have some work to do here in the final 4 minutes and change. Kuzi. Ford swings it for Thomas. Traveling on the line.
Hoping for is just to shake things up again. Although
Harris finds an angle, flips it in with a... Aggies showing some token pressure. Gales break it, and they reset with Ford. The Aggies in his zone defense here, Coach.
Yep. Let's see how St. Mary's reacts to this. We haven't seen the Aggies in his zone all year.
Extra pass for Fitz for the corner. It hits
that one there.
Harris will try to answer. He got it. And M State just 2 of 16 on trays. Harris in double figures with 13 to lead all Aggies. Thomas from the corner. Offensive rebound for Toss, the freshman. He's been great tonight. Toss has had to play a bunch. Hunter, who fouled out earlier, only played 14 minutes. He was in foul trouble the entire game. So Toss has had big minutes off the bench for the Gales. Ford runs the shot clock down to 6. Deep 3 for Fitz. All right, they trail by 10, 64-54. Final 2:16 in a moment. Them 2-0 after beating Iona last night in the pit. Big possession here. Final 2 minutes. The Aggies down 10 on offense. Rice to a slipping Aore Coachea, slips off the rim. Harris all over Ford. Remember, no longer a 5-second call. That was a rule enforced a couple of years ago that was changed. No longer a 5-second call when you get up close defensively. Ford from long range again. Oh. Harris thought about a 3, gets in the lane, reversal good. Here today has been 3-point shooting. NM State 2 of 16 from 3. St. Mary's has shot it well though from 3 on the road. 8 of 21 from 3 here tonight.
Well, and I think it was Elijah Thomas with sort of the big turnaround, a crucial moment with the 7-minute mark where Elijah Thomas made a 3 and got fouled, and they got the ball back. But to my mind, Elijah Thomas and Malik Fitz were huge at staving off the Aggie rally. Here's full court pressure by the Aggies. Looks like man-to-man full court pressure with the Aggies. Nope. Let's see. Wait. Let's tour the tell. Might be zone pressure.
80 seconds left. The Aggies trying to trap Kuzi. Kuzi. Tip by Harris. It will stay just to make sure, and we'll get our second look here. I guess there's a chance to touch Ford after it touched Harris.
Pretty good camera work by that Aggie Vision crew, as usual. It's hard to tell from this angle. Why don't we just ask Jordan Ford? Let's ask him to tell us the truth.
Well, the thing is, too, in this scenario, you need enough evidence to overturn the call. The call on the floor is St. Mary's basketball, so I just don't see enough there to show that Ford touched it.
Not on that one, no.
But they will review it. This is, of course, a big call in this game. It's 64-56. It's a totally different scenario if it's Aggie ball here. Kevin Brill, Mike Cyphers, and Tommy Nunez are 3 officials.
It'd be hard for the Aggies to complain about the officiating. They've shot 10 more free throws than St. Mary's.
On the shot clock, nearly a steal again. The Aggies don't want to foul Ford, but they have those for Ford, who has 22.
Line up and everybody can shoot a three-pointer, which might be the stretch.
10-point lead for the Gales. Quick three for Harris. Shallow, Krebs the rebound. And the country at the mid-major level.
Yeah, you don't win 30 games every few things that they'll go back to the drawing board. I imagine it'll be, we dwell on St. Mary's and how much do we talk about the Lobos? 70 seconds to go and won the game. As I hear uphill battle here, as it's St. Mary's just doesn't make.
Need to find a way to keep the ball out of the hands of Ford, and it's going to be Ford again. The Aggies don't want to foul him. There's point number 2. Harris will scoop it up in midcourt. AJ works his way in the lane. Finger roll no good. Shot clock. St. Mary's is going to leave with a really big road win. They were snubbed last year in the end in March by the selection committee. This is a win for them that could really help them in March if they don't get the automatic bid out of the WCC.
Well, I think that's right. It's a great road win for, although there's been years where they have great road wins and still.
Fitz, good night for him. He had 17. 3 is no good. First home loss this year for the Aggies. Only one home loss last year, just one home loss 2 years ago. Answer, St. Mary's was able to stretch out their lead in half one to 9 points. JoJo Zamora hitting a deep 2 right there for NM State. Kind of a quiet night, though, for JoJo, who only finishes with 3 points. We loved what we saw from Ivana Ore-Coachea, and he was pretty much the Aggie offense in half one.
That's right, just really hustling and working hard inside, made his presence known.
What a game for Jordan Ford. 28 points, one below his season average of 29, 8 of 20 shooting. There you see a dunk for Ore-Coachea, and Kuzi hits a big shot in the first half. He finished with 5 points in 20 minutes. Had to play a lot of minutes in the first half because of foul trouble for starting guard Tanner Krebs. There's one of those answer threes. That one from Elijah Thomas. We saw some as well from Malik Fitz. The Aggies made some runs. They cut it to 7 at one point, and you really liked what you saw from Terrell Brown in half 2.
It just really sparked the Aggies. They made a couple mistakes, but boy, a terrific defender and really made some good things happen.
Another 3 for Thomas after a 3 for Matthias Toss. St. Mary's 9 of 22 for bonus distance. And there's that 3 for Fitz. That was late when the Aggies cut it to single digits. He's quieting the crowd. Fitz had a good night, 20 points for the transfer from